Greetings guys, gals and non-binary pals, and welcome back to another virtual pride video. I hope that you're all safe and you're all doing well and you're all fighting, because there is a lot to be fighting at the moment. Before I get into it, just along those lines, I've spent the past few days compiling a bunch of donation links and petitions and email templates to send to MPs and things for the Black Lives Matter movement, for the situation in Poland, and for the situation in Yemen, because those are some really big issues at the moment that need a lot of attention and that need as much support as possible. Through these links, there is also a way you can email me to send me anything else you think I should add, anything else going in the world that you want me to talk about, because I do have a platform, and what good is a platform if I don't use it to help people? So please, if there's anything that I'm missing or anything that is wrong on my website, please let me know and I will correct it. But yeah, links to donations and petitions and things are all down there. It's thequeerkiwi.com/support, and you can find it all from there. Today I thought I'd just do a little bit of sharing about myself and my identity and my coming out and all that sort of stuff, because I get a lot of questions around it. My best friend Kat and I actually have a podcast, and a couple months ago we did an episode all about our coming out experiences and giving any advice about coming out, because people ask all the time, and I will link that in the description. And then next Wednesday we have another video all about sort of labels and identity. We have new podcast episodes out every single Wednesday, so go subscribe to that. And yeah, we talk about a lot of different shit. So yeah, so I'm going to talk about my family life and how that impacted me and my sexuality and my identity and bleh, you know? So let's go back to the beginning. I was born in the year 2000. It's not really relevant, but I'm a millennial baby. But basically my parents decided they wanted to raise me gender neutrally and have me make my own decisions as to what I like without them sort of forcing these gender roles and gender stereotypes on me. They wanted me to make those decisions for myself. So my parents would dress me in like oranges and greens and more neutral colors, and my bedroom was blue because that's like a calming color. And basically, yeah, so as a baby I was dressed in things that weren't gendered. They were like things with cats on them that were like orange and that sort of thing. Nothing, yeah, you get it. And when it came to like games and things, I would play pirates and I'd also play fairies, and I sort of made all these decisions by myself, and my parents just kind of went with whatever I wanted to get. It didn't matter if it was a boy's toy or a girl's toy or anything like that. They wanted it to be completely my decision. However, I chose the girly stuff all by myself. I was big into like fairies and princesses and Barbies. I was so into it, and makeup. I was into it. But I also really liked playing like pirates and Hot Wheels, but mainly princesses and fairies and pink. As well as raising me in this way of telling me to make my own decisions and not wanting to force any sort of gender roles or anything on me, they also changed their language, in which, you know, a lot of parents will say to their girls at whatever age, like, oh, when you get a boyfriend, or oh, who's that boy, do you like that boy, that sort of thing. My parents would always say, one day when you get a boyfriend or a girlfriend. That was the language throughout my entire life. It's never been when you get a boyfriend, when are you gonna get a boyfriend. It's always been boyfriend or girlfriend, even when I was very young. And because of all these things, I knew that my parents would accept me if I was gay. Like, it was never really a question or a problem at all. However, even though I had all of this, there was a period of time where I kind of struggled with it. Like, I've always thought girls were so pretty. I was always into girls before I was into boys, because boys ain't shit. All my like celebrity crushes and things were always girls. I always had such a big admiration of them. And I remember I would like lie awake at night being like, what if I'm a lesbian? What if I like girls? And kind of freaking out about it, but only because I wanted to be a mother. And as a child, you just know that you need a man and a woman to have a child. And so that was really the only thing that scared me and worried me, was that. On top of my parents doing both of these things, they always assured me my whole life that they would love me no matter what, including going as far as like talking about professions. Like if I went into like sex work and things like that, they would love me and support me unconditionally no matter what I did. So the label I use for myself is queer or gay, just because those are like umbrella terms. I don't feel like I'm choosing one specific thing for what I am, because I believe that sexuality is a very fluid thing. I think that because I grew up in this household that was so accepting and open and welcoming to me being whoever I wanted to be and loving whoever I wanted to love, I never really questioned it. I never thought that being gay was anything abnormal at all. So I never really struggled or felt like I had to choose or felt like I had to be this one specific thing. I just sort of felt like I could exist and just love who I wanted to love, because that's sort of what I was told forever. And a lot of people don't have that experience. And I think that that's a reason why labels are such a big and important thing to so many people, because you spend such a long time sort of battling with yourself and not knowing where you fit and feeling very, very confused because it doesn't feel like a normal thing. And so finding somewhere where you fit and finding other people who feel the same way as you is so comforting. And so I completely understand why there are so many labels and why so many people feel so empowered by them. And labels just aren't for everyone. Like for myself, as I say, I just use queer or gay because I don't feel like any of the other terms fit me. If you don't feel like you fit with any of the labels or identities that are out there, that is fine. You have all the time in the world to figure out who you are. You have all the time in the world to pick a label or not pick one. You just exist as who you are, and that is totally okay. But then also picking a label to identify with is also totally cool and totally okay. Just do what is right for you. And in terms of coming out, again, I never really felt like I had to. I did, kind of. What happened with me was there was this girl that I liked and she started coming over all the time, you know, she'd sleep over and we'd like cuddle on the couch and things like that. And one night I kind of was like, I should tell my mom just in case she doesn't know. And it was like 11 o'clock at night and I was like really freaking out. It's really interesting because like I say, I knew that she would be okay with it. There's not a doubt in my mind that she would be okay with it. But I have this little bit of internalized homophobia and I don't know where it comes from, but it's there. I knew my mom would be okay with it. And I kind of went and I woke her up and I said, Mom, I like this girl. And she just went, yeah, I know. Why are you telling me? And I was crying and she's like, why are you crying? Wait, what is happening? And I was like, okay. And then she just said, can I go back to sleep now? And I was like, yeah. And then she gave me a hug and went back to sleep. That was my coming out story. In terms of coming out to anyone else, I didn't. I just had a girlfriend and everyone just had to be okay with that. That's just how it went. I didn't feel like I had to come out to anyone. I just wanted to tell my mom because I did. But I didn't come out. I just knew everyone would be chill. And I know that so many people don't have that experience and I am very, very lucky. My mom had actually told me at an earlier time that, you know, she thinks that coming out shouldn't have to be a thing. And she thinks that people should just be able to bring home their partners and be like, this is my partner. And so she'd already told me really that if I got a girlfriend just to bring her home like I would anyone else. So I guess I understand why she was confused when I felt like I needed to tell her, because I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. I've gone in circles. I've been talking for so long and I've said the same thing about 12 times. Basically, I am incredibly lucky. And I mean, I have my ups and downs with my parents, as everyone does. But I think in terms of the way that they raised me when it comes to like identity and sexuality, they did a really, really good job. And I am so, so grateful to them for that, because if I didn't have that, I don't really know how I would identify or what would be going on in my mind. I've just never felt the need to question it, and I've never felt the need to be anything other than myself or to hide who I am. Because of this and because of the environment that I was in and the way that I was raised, I've just never felt... I've never experienced homophobia before. And I'm so, so lucky for that. because I went to a very liberal school where it was absolutely zero tolerance for any form of homophobia. Like, that was taken so seriously. There were posters all around the school about like, when is it okay to use the word gay? And they were like little flow charts about like, is the person you're talking about attracted to the same sex? Yes. Is it relevant to the conversation? Like, and so basically that they were all over the school. We had like LGBT inclusive sex education. We also had like a gay club. Float and Pride, I think, happened. They now have unisex bathrooms. There's also a phone line called the PSSP phone line, which is the Peer Sexuality Support Program, which was like an anonymous phone line where you could ask any questions about sexuality or anything like that without anyone knowing who you are, as well as, you know, having our school counselors who were there to support LGBT people as well. And as I said, any form of homophobia was just not tolerated in the slightest. I am incredibly lucky and I am incredibly privileged for having had this experience and having had this equal treatment and never having been afraid to be who I am. And it breaks my heart that a lot of people don't have this and they are in these situations where they feel unsafe and unloved and isolated. It hurts my heart so much. And I hope that one day we're all raised in these situations where we feel like we can be who we are and love who we love and with no fear at all. I hope that we remove this really strict gender binary and I hope that we remove this heteronormativity. And I think we're making steps towards it, but it's still so shit in so many places and for so many people. In terms of advice on coming out, all I can say is that it is different for every single person. I don't know your situation. You have to do what feels right for you. The most important thing is that you feel safe and that you feel comfortable, and just know you don't owe anyone anything. Make sure that you are comfortable and that you are ready and that you feel safe. If you're gonna come out to your parents and you don't know how they're gonna take it, maybe make sure you have a friend you can stay with just for a couple days where you can sort of distance yourself from that and sort of calm down, and your parents can as well. Just because I feel like it could be so heartbreaking and so difficult to have that conversation not go well. We're all in different situations and we all have different family lives, and I can't tell you what's right for you because it's not going to be right for everyone. And I, like I say, have had a very privileged experience with figuring out my identity and coming out. And I hope one day everyone has the same sort of experience as I have. I hope I hope that I've been able to help you in any way. I hope that answered any questions that you've had for me. And yeah, if you want to hear more in depth about this sort of thing, check out Mine and Kat's podcast. The link will be in the description. We are currently trying to save up for some better equipment. Like, I'm filming on my phone right now, so we're trying to save up for like cameras and microphones and things. So we do have a Patreon, which will also be linked, and you can get our podcast episodes a week early, as well as like having access to exclusive polls and things. She has her own YouTube channel too, and I have this one obviously, so we might post little polls about our own channels as well and asking for input. So if you're interested and you'd like to help us out in saving for better equipment to make better content for you, that would be super appreciated. I hate asking for money. You do not have to give me money. It's just an option. It's just an option if you wanted to. But the link for that will be in the description if you did want to help out. There are also all the charity links and all my social media links down there as well. So like, I regularly post polls and things on Instagram, so yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for coming along. I hope that you feel a bit validated and that you know a bit more about me. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe, keep fighting. I love you. Bye. Mwah.